Hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and welcome back to Square Theory. So, let's answer the question that's been on everybody's minds. Can Hillenburg save the show? The short answer? Yes. But that doesn't necessarily mean he will save the show. See what I did there? Words. Anyway, to explain exactly what I mean, we need to take a look back into Hillenburg's history. So, he started out like so many other people in the industry, going to college at CalArts. And after that, he got a job working on a little show called Rocko's Modern Life. Ever notice how Rocko has a lot of similarities comedically to like seasons 1 and 2 of SpongeBob? Yeah, that's because Hillenburg was a writer, storyboard artist, and generally a producer of Rocko's Modern Life. He had a heavy hand in it, and when he pitched his pilot to Nickelodeon shortly after Rocko ended, he brought a lot of the same crew from Rocko's Modern Life over to SpongeBob. On SpongeBob, Hillenburg worked as the showrunner for the first 3 seasons, which basically meant he oversaw everything. Even though he didn't directly write any episodes beyond the first few, he still had a very big hand in making sure that every episode reflected his comedic tastes and vision for the show. A head showrunner is very much involved, very much there, very much looking over every script and actively talking and communicating with the writers of those scripts to make the tweaks that it needs to fit with the show overall. He's the guy that's in charge of making sure that the show doesn't have any stupid mistakes, like, say, forgetting a character's last name, or naming an episode with a very similar title to a previous episode. Now here's where it gets interesting. After season 3, Hillenburg did not leave the show. He became an executive producer. What exactly does that mean? It's actually kind of hard to define. See, in film and television, an executive producer can be anything from the guy that made this happen, that has a very hands-on role in everything, to the guy that funded it and puts in no creative input whatsoever. It's kind of like a title they give people that have some hand in the show existing or movie, but what that means exactly depends on the executive producer. And it's a whole thing with people who actually do stuff getting all mad because these investors are getting the same title as them, even though they didn't do anything but donate money, but it's a prestige thing. It's a whole issue. My point is, we don't know exactly how much Hillenburg has had a hand in the past, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the first half of 9. We don't know. It could be that he had almost the same responsibilities as he had when he was a showrunner, where maybe instead of being in the studio every day, he's in the studio half the days, and he still very much oversees everything, but from a much more lax place. Or it could be that he doesn't do much of anything. He just approves the scripts. I've read somewhere that he definitely approves the scripts, but that could just be Nickelodeon showing the script and being like, here's the script. If you don't like it, you have about 10 minutes to change it before we move on to producing the next episode. It might just be that. That might just be the thing where he doesn't necessarily deny anything. He just kind of approves of things, and according to him, he throws in jokes from time to time. But again, who knows what that means? Who knows how much of a hand he had in it? And the devil is in the details there. If he had even a moderate-sized hand in making things like Season 6, I don't think we have any reason to believe that he's going to make the show better. Like, seriously, if he approved those episodes, if he approved of Truth or Square and Choir Boys, I don't know what to tell you, because that's not a good thing at all. There's a fundamental misunderstanding in some of those episodes of what this show is, and I don't think... if Hillenburg approved it, then clearly he's lost the plot as much as the rest of them, unfortunately. But he could have very little to do with it. He could have battled Nickelodeon on those episodes, and Nick just shut him down. And they were like, oh, we got to move on to the next episodes. We got to produce this. Truth or Square is a big deal for us. We can't have you messing it up. We got to get it out the door now. That could be the case. So who knows, right? But I think that's it. And I think it's also important to remember, it's been 15 years. It's been 15 years since the show started. It's been over a decade since Hillenburg was the showrunner. So who knows if he even has any of the same comedic sensibilities as he once did? Who knows if he has the same, overseeing chops as he did when it comes to making this show? Who knows? He hasn't really done much of anything since he took a step back from SpongeBob, so I can't really tell you what his level of skill is right now. However, on a more positive note, I don't think that he could make the show any worse than it was in Season 6. I feel like, if anything, him returning, I think the worst thing it could do is really just kind of keep the show at the level it is right now, and I don't really know what the level it is in Season 9. I haven't seen Season 9. I'm watching the episodes in order, and I'm currently working on Season 7 as of this video, so I can't tell you how it is, but I do know that Season 9 isn't the quality of Season 1, 2, or 3. I know that much for certain based upon what people say, and because of the fact that I have seen the Little Yellow Book, and the fact that that episode exists in the season shows me that even if they've come far from Season 6, they're definitely not in a good place. They might be in a mediocre place. But hey, here's hoping. He might save the show. He might. And it's also worth noting that Nickelodeon seems to be putting a little bit of an effort to refocus the show a little bit, think a little bit more about what their strategy is going forward. I've read in places that they're kind of rebranding him in a way, and this especially makes sense with the second movie, that they're kind of maybe seeing where their target audience really is, seeing how much of an interest older fans have in the show, if it's worth trying to get back what the show once was, or if they should just keep on keeping on and little kids will watch it. So I think whatever happens, it's not going to be for the worst. I'm definitely excited that he's back, and I guess we'll find out very soon what happens. Very, very, very soon. Pie Guy rules?